Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming back. Tonight's interview is with Young Ev. And as always, I'm going to invite him in. I'd like to tell you about the radio station we now are. Let's see. Oop, let's try one more time. Oh, there he is. Hi.
Yeah, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. All right. So, um, thanks for reaching out the other day. I did get all your music up onto RSTA radio, so
Oh
it's
yeah.
rotating. Yeah. And you're also in New Music Thursdays from 8 to 9 on this station.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm super excited to be here. I'm just, looking to learn basically. I'm just getting back into the industry again and, I'm just looking at everything as an opportunity. So tonight I'm just, trying to get a little bit better and, just super excited to be here for sure.
Good, good. So let's jump in. Tell me about your name, Young Ev.
Young Ev. Yeah, so basically, Young Ev, what it means is um, I'm not the old Ev anymore. You know what I mean? Like every single day, I'm becoming a new version, a better version of myself, and just trying to elevate, and that's why I got the name Young Ev when I was, 13, 14. I was making rap videos on Facebook with my friend, and he was recording me, and one day he was just joking and was like, Young Ev, and it just stuck, and even the older I got, I kept the name because, like I said, it really just like brings out the kid in me. But I'm a lot more mature. I keep getting better, like I said. So it's that's what it really means is just a new version of myself, a younger, better version of myself.
Okay, nice.
Absolutely.
So you said making videos and stuff when you were 13. So how long, let's see, how long were you doing it? And then how much of a break have you taken?
Oh yeah, I mean, I started writing songs when I was like 10, 11 years old, and then I'd just be rapping with my friends, or kind of bullshitting.
Mm,
But yeah, by 14, I started like actually trying to show people like, hey, I'm about to post this. I'm about to start rapping. And it started out with just, listening to beats on YouTube and just recording myself on a cell phone and posting a Facebook video. And after doing that like a few times, people, started to actually feed into it a little bit. And, I started realizing like I can get better at this, and by 16 I went to the studio and actually started like recording music.
okay.
And I mean, I made a bunch of songs from 16 to 18 years old, and I never stopped making music. Like I always was writing songs. I took a break from doing shows. I took a break from like I don't really do too many music videos, but a lot of songs. I made a lot of songs, and I started putting them out there recently. I think that I probably took about like a 2, 3 year break in between like age 20 and 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Um, who influenced you, you think, the most that to do music?
I mean, it's hard to say one person because my whole family, I come from an extremely, hardworking family, hardworking background, and whatever we wanted to do, we went really, really hard at it. And my oldest brother, he's dead now, God bless his soul. But he was a huge part of me, like loving music, huge influence in it. My mom, my sister, like we used to dance. I used to be, young as hell, like 8, 9 years old on Music Choice, dancing with my mom and just listening to music. So just I've been influenced by really my whole family, my all my friends. We've been freestyling since we were teenagers, and that's really it.
Okay. Nice. So you're coming back now. So what would you like to do in this next chapter?
Uh, Really, I just want to keep putting out singles for a while. Just keep dropping a song every once in a while. I have 67 out right now, out on all platforms. And, you know, I know that I have some good songs, but there's a lot of development that I still need to do. There's still a lot of potential that I have in songs that I've written that aren't recorded yet that, I know they're going to be really, really good. So my main goal for 2025 is just to push songs, just put a bunch of new tracks out there so people, hear different sounds from me. They hear my name a little bit more and really just start doing some shows on the weekend. Um, I just had a baby too. I'm getting married this year, so
Oh,
we're
congratulations.
we're busy. Thank you, thank you. Very, very busy right now.
Yeah, yeah. Babies will do that.
Oh
So
yeah,
will weddings.
absolutely.
But that's exciting and fun. Um, so what um what was like maybe the first song or album that you heard that you made you say, this is it. This is what I'm doing.
The first one was probably, oh man, that's tough. It was either the Carter 2 by Lil Wayne or it was Relapse by Eminem. And
Okay.
then shortly after that, I was still really, really young, but real shortly after that, Eminem made the Recovery album too. So those were probably the earliest like rap albums that I actually listened to word for word, learned all the songs, and started really liking rap. I was probably only like 7 or 8 years old, maybe
Okay.
9. Yeah.
Now I listened to the songs that you sent. Which song is your favorite out of those?
It depends what mood I'm in because if I'm in like a pumped up mood or like I'm in the gym or something, I listen to I Just Came Up. That's like my favorite song. Like if I'm just pumped up, ready to spaz
Mhm.
out, you know. But if I'm in like more of like a chill mood, I'd say Sunrise.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that song, especially because it just reminds me of my son and my wife. Just it's relatable too.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Um, so what is your least favorite song you've ever made? Well, that you made and put out there.
I would say it just came out last year in
Oh,
2024 off of Prophet, the album. Everything Good.
mm-hmm.
I hate that song. So I actually remade it, right?
Uh-huh.
I remade it because I didn't like the way my voice sounded. It sounded real like just amateur to
Mm-hmm.
me. So I made a light version and just like calmed my voice down and like made it more like whispery. And I
Yeah.
think it made the song way harder. But I never, took down the original version. I have both versions out there so people can see what I did. But I'd say that's my least favorite song for sure. It's called Everything Good.
All right. And now here is a question I'd like to ask. What, let's see, how do I word that? What song did you put out there that you were surprised it did so well?
um,
Like you just put it out there, you're like, whatever, and then that's the song that hit.
I'd say Detroit Flow, or it's also called Knock 'Em Out the Game. It ended up being the biggest song that I have on, streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely just like a bullshit song. I was making the song with my friend. We were, saying the dumbest shit about the lyrics, but we just put it together, and it's it ended up, yeah, like everybody, every time I play it, everybody's like, oh, that shit's hard. And then I go on, I use DistroKid, if you know what DistroKid is.
Yep.
And so I check, what the top songs are and like what's paying me the most and stuff. And surprisingly, that's the top one.
You can never tell.
No.
Just like I said in the last interview, you just never know. So you might as well just put it all out there,
It's
right?
funny too because the one that you like the most is never the one that everybody else likes the most. That's what
Exactly.
it feels like.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, everybody got their own taste though.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So, like I said, you might as well just put it all out there because
Oh yeah,
there's going to
and
be
that's
somebody that likes it.
that's what I'm doing too. Is I'm I I'm really not, like a thug or anything like that, but I did some, dumb stuff when I was a younger kid, and I like to rap about it still, or I like to rap about things that other people did, and that's one side of it. And if I'm in like a certain mood, that's what makes a song like that come out. But I also, made a Christian song, and Sunrise is more like a pop rap song or whatever you want to call it. So, and I have another song, Smile, where I'm singing, and it's just a huge variety of different music, because I don't know what somebody's gonna like, and I really feel like I can make any type of music, so it all goes out there.
Now, do you produce like all your own beats and stuff? Do you
Yeah. So what I do is I either get a license from a YouTube beat, or I have a couple cats that make beats, and I just buy the beat for like $50 a pop, and they make them pretty quick. And then other than that, I have an engineer. I have two engineers really, because I lived in Iowa for 3 years too, and I found an engineer out there. Shout out to Chente, that's my dog. So Vicente Garcia out there in Iowa, he's an engineer, and then out here in Ambridge, Pennsylvania, we got Nick Cusell, and he's really really good too. So
okay,
those are my engineers.
nice.
Yep.
So, what is your favorite? What is your least favorite food ever?
Least favorite food?
Least favorite.
Fucking seafood. I fucking hate seafood.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Well, certain types, because like I can eat shrimp. I'll eat some shrimp at Ichiban or something like that.
Mhm.
But I can't eat like regular fish or tuna or sushi. All that stuff. I really don't
Really?
eat. Yeah,
Okay.
seafood is not it. Not for me.
Now, what's your favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert?
Hmm.
I'd say I'd say like a cookie pie,
Oh,
like a
okay.
chocolate chip cookie cake or something. Yeah,
Yeah, they're good.
with some icing on it.
They are really good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, either that or just like a honey bun. Actually, I don't know if that counts, but
Of
if you can count a
course.
honey bun, yeah, honey buns are that's
Okay.
it.
All right. Good.
For sure.
Um. So, what? How do you feel about pay to play?
Pay to play.
Hmm.
That's the only way. You know what I mean? Because if you don't pay the price, you can't eat.
No,
There's a
no, no,
price
no,
to
no, no.
eat.
Like,
Oh,
like, for for like events and stuff. Like they tell you you have to pay $30 to be in, to perform in their show.
oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't do that honestly. I mean, like it really just depends. Like if I'm trying to get my name out there, if it's man, like I don't. You know what? You know how Wiz Khalifa? I don't know. I'm sure he's coming, and the baby and other people. Like I'd pay to open up for that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? For
So,
sure.
so
But
it's like case by case.
yeah, definitely a case by case. Because if it's not going to benefit me, it's like why would I pay for it? But
Exactly.
if it's a mutual benefit, because obviously I'm not, beggars can't be choosers, but I'm not going to be done with a decision like that. So yeah, as long as it's mutually beneficial for both parties, that's you know case by case, like you said.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's pay to play seems to be running rampant in Pittsburgh lately.
Yeah,
Not sure why that's happening, but I do booking and stuff, and I've just run it into pay to play left and right. It's like holy moly.
yeah,
So, you know, but I always like to get people's thoughts. Um, I'm not a fan of it, but again, if it's a competition and you could win some good money or some
oh
good
yeah, like yeah, no,
prizes or
that
something
makes
like that.
sense.
Yeah,
That makes total sense. No, I didn't mean any disrespect either. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
that would make sense too if it's like a showcase type deal. Like yeah,
Yeah,
pay to play for sure.
yeah. It's Frank Rich says Pittsburgh's behind Young F.
Frank Rich, come on, big dog.
You guys that are watching, you can also ask questions or anything if you want while we're doing the interview. I always like that.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
so, what if you could perform with anybody? Let's break this into two. Where is your ultimate place you would want to perform? Anywhere in the world. Money didn't matter. Time didn't matter. You could literally perform anywhere.
Mm. That's tied because I'm from Pittsburgh, so that would be an honor to perform at KeyBank Pavilion.
Okay.
But that would also be crazy as hell to perform at Rolling Loud. That'd be insane.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And who is the ultimate person you would want to perform with, dead or alive?
Dead or alive,
Yep.
I'd bring back Big L.
Okay.
I'd bring back Big L in a heartbeat. I'd fucking spaz with him if I could make a song with him. That'd be insane.
Okay. All
For
right.
sure.
So, do you have anything lined up right now, or you're like literally just kind of getting back into it?
No, that's why I reached out to you because I was talking to Randy over there at Music Roundtable, and yeah, he sent me your information, and I told him that I'm basically looking to get back, started and dip my feet in the water, and this is the very first live video I think I ever did in my life.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and but I've done a bunch of shows. I've performed over 20 times, and I know that's not too much, but you know, yeah, I'm just basically ready to get back into doing shows and
Okay.
start doing interviews and all that stuff. So I'm just getting started, basically.
Very nice. So I saw you were watching a little bit of the last interview I did. I
Yes.
like to pull out the yellow book. It's full of questions.
Okay.
So pick a number between 1 and 382.
1 and 382. Let's do 1, 2, 3.
Okay. If you could have the original of anything, what would you want it to be?
If I could have the original of anything, what would I want it to
Yep.
be? It's a pretty crazy question, real open ended. The Oh man, I mean, I would have been happy to start like Google or something.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could be the dude who started Google, that'd be pretty crazy.
That would be crazy. I mean, he probably started in his garage just like all the other
Yeah.
tech companies did at one point.
Oh man. Yeah, I would say if anything, I would have started Google. That'd be it.
All right.
Oh my god.
Pick another number.
Mm, you said to 382.
Yep.
Let's do 321. I'm trying to be real simple, so I don't have to think.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. If any Christmas song were to bring you to tears, which one would it be?
Christmas song, bring me to tears.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I don't know that many Christmas songs except for
Mm,
like Jingle Bells. That wouldn't bring you to tears.
I'd hope not.
Yeah, let me think. Probably. Oh, you know what? Silent Night.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they sing those at funerals. That
Mm-hmm.
shit will have you. Yep, that'll have a tear down your face for sure.
Great. Very good. Um, so do you get stage fright? And if you do, how do you work your way through it?
I don't think so. I think because I've been performing since I didn't even have stage fright when I was a teenager doing it, but
Okay.
I sweat. Like once the pressure's on, like straight up, I sweat like a lot. But if I know, like, all right, I'm in the middle of performing, like I don't care. I just have a rag or whatever,
Okay.
bottle of water, and yeah, I'll be drenched by the end of the show, though. Unfortunately.
Well, that happens. Those lights up, it's hot up there. If you're up
Yeah,
on stage and stuff, yeah.
I'd say that's the stage fright. Then is just the sweating, but it's not really like nervous. It's more just like so much excitement. It's hot, adrenaline's pumping, and then yeah, you just start sweating.
Okay. All right.
And honestly, when you're jumping on stage or moving and you're trying to rap at the same time, like people underestimate, like, bro, that'll make you tired as shit. Like you'll lose your breath for
Oh,
sure.
that's to move and sing is a lot of work.
Yeah. It's a way bigger workout than people would think.
Oh yeah, when my oldest was in high school, they used to the the theater kids that were there at that time, they were like a year or two older than her, were outstanding. Like I would not be surprised to see any of their names on Broadway or anything like that. They
Yeah.
were amazing, like the most amazing I've ever seen. And they did what was the one play musical, Legally Blonde,
Okay.
and they had a whole scene where um, they all jump roped, and the lead, she jump roped, danced while jump roping, and sang. I am exhausted just watching her. And she was friends with my daughter, and my daughter said she worked out every day, every single minute she had to get the jump roping down, to get the moves down with the jump roping, and then to add in the singing. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy. I,
People really underestimate that is not easy. Not easy at all.
and they all sang. They didn't miss a beat. It was amazing.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah, I think if I tried that, I'd just fall over
Yeah.
and be like, I'm done.
Oh man.
Oh, so if you didn't have music in your life, what is it you think you would do? What would something else you would be doing?
Just working. Just making money. That's literally it. If it wasn't for music, because it's really like another high. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like people smoke weed or they drink or they do whatever they do, and music brings like a certain high too. You can get addicted to it, like where you're always listening and playing to it, and that's really that's all I would be doing if I didn't have music. I'd just be getting high or working.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I love basketball. Definitely love, like selfish things that I do. I love basketball. I love playing video games again. I haven't played video games in like 15 years, and I bought a PS5, and I fucking love it. It's so cool. But really, I really like spending time with my son and my wife too. I work a lot, but on the weekends we try to hang out as much as we can and eat dinner together, go on walks in a nice neighborhood that we live in. So,
Nice.
really, really just quality time or like maybe working out is what I do now
Okay.
for sure.
What's your favorite video game?
Um, I'd say Call of Duty. I
Okay.
think I think they did a lot with Call of Duty right now that I didn't see when I was a teenager. They definitely upgraded a lot of shit, and then
Okay.
Madden probably too. I love me some Madden.
Um, so where do you, I hate to say, I'm not going to say it, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your goal? How's that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because right now, I had a lot of goals when I was in my younger 20s and I had some success and I took a step back and right now that's what I'm looking for is like what is the next goal, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is really just paying my house off because I don't want to be in debt. We just bought a house last year, and if I can get the house paid off way quicker than expected, that'd be a really, really good things. So that's a big goal.
Hmm.
Um, and really, the only other goal I can think of is just making sure that my family has a good life. You know, we really didn't come from a lot, but we have enough now. You know, and just trying to keep it that way and help my son out. You know.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a very good goal. Now, music, I'm sure you wouldn't mind if you became a household name, right?
Oh yeah. I'm just looking for one song to do it. You know, just one song. Everybody's listening. It's buzzing. It's like, all right. I just know that that's the one. You know, and right now I can't say that. That's why I was telling you. I still there's a lot of development. You know, a lot of development I still want to do, and yeah, I'm just waiting for that one song where I can tell myself like, all right, this is it right here. I know this is it. You know.
All right. Very nice. So while I'm, before I get to my next question, tell people how to find you. Like on,
Uh, Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I just put my whole government out there because I really don't give a fuck. So it's Evan underscore Michael underscore Stewart, and then in parentheses, Young Ev. You can find me on Snapchat too. That's my biggest platform. I like getting personal with people or just posting like my stories every day. I have like 8,000 followers right now on Snapchat. So if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, um, I think I changed it to be honest with you. I know it was Evan881, but I think it's Young Ev412 now.
okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Young Ev 412. But I'll get back to you on that. And yeah, that was bad right there
It's
for sure.
okay.
But yeah, IG and Snapchat is really it. I don't really use too many other social medias besides Facebook, but that's really for my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about streaming platforms? What's your name on there?
Yeah, Young Ev on all platforms. So Apple Music and Spotify, YouTube are probably the biggest, but it's out there on all the other ones too, like Tidal, Deezer, and Amazon Music, and
Okay.
all those other platforms. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Um, so good. And then I asked you about shows, but that's going to be my problem soon.
Oh yeah, I'm
Get you
super
some shows.
excited though. I'll tell you what, definitely
Yeah.
gonna rock some shows.
And so if you could, oh, here's a good one. What one piece of advice will you give your son when he is mm, when he turns 18?
Hmm. On the spot, I would tell him not to confuse uh, hard work and results.
Okay.
Yeah. Because sometimes you can think that you're working super, super hard, but you're not getting the result you're supposed to get. So, some people cut themselves short. So
Okay.
I would just explain to them that instead of focusing on a certain amount of time for something, just focus on it until the job's done, until you get the result.
Very, very good. The end result. I like that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite soda?
Favorite soda? I like me a good root beer.
Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, nice root beer or even Sprite. Sprite's really good too. I like the crisp,
Hmm.
as long as it's real fizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, root beer or Sprite. That'll do it.
Okay. Um, so is there what if you can make up a genre for yourself? Like just make it up. What would you call it?
Mm, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I would just say chill
Okay.
hip hop, and melodic melodic hip hop. Yeah,
Ooh, that's a good one.
yeah, chill hip hop and melodic hip hop. That's what I would say I'd do.
Okay. I like that. I like to ask people that because the traditional genres just don't seem to fit anymore, you
Yeah.
know? So I
There's a
always like
lot
to
of
ask.
different ones now too. I know exactly what you mean. There's a lot of different. types of rap now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the artists I have, not a single one sounds like the other at all.
Yeah.
But, if someone were to lump like half of them in, they would be like, oh, they're hip hop. But they don't sound alike at all. Um, and they're not all just, none of them are straight hip hop. I think they mix in a lot of things. So,
Yeah, that's
I,
for sure. Everything's mixed
yeah,
nowadays.
yes. As you'll find out when I throw my own shows, I like to mix genres.
Yeah.
So there will be hip hop there, pop, R&B, maybe some alternative music. Um, so it's like a little bit for everybody, and it seems to do really well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exciting because well, I remember like growing up, I used to only listen to rap music. But
Hmm.
once I started listening to all the other types of music, that's where like you really start getting the sound, and you really start getting a taste for a good song.
Hmm.
You've heard other different talents. Yeah, uh, that's fire.
Now, how did you know you could sing?
Um, I didn't, to tell you the truth. I just tried it. Like there's just songs out there where you just sing along to or whatever. You hit the note, you're like, all right, cool, and then you start making a song kind of like that, and that's kind of how Smile started. Was I was just listening to the beat, and I paid $500 for that beat too.
Ooh.
It's a beautiful, beautiful beat, but that song, like when I was listening to it, I can hear it in my head, like somebody's singing.
Hmm.
And then it just came on me like, even on a bad day, I could smile. And I was just so excited, like, oh, dude. And I think one thing about singing is it's way different than rapping too. Is like you you take a lot of takes before you really hit the note. Like I
Hmm.
can go into the studio, and if it's just like a rap and like no hook, just freestyling a song or whatever, you could make that in like 30 minutes, and then he just does his shit, and probably 45 minutes, and the song is done. But when you do a singing song, like that'll take hours.
Oh,
Definitely a way longer time
oh, interesting. Hmm.
for sure. A lot more layers and everything. Um, but yeah, I really didn't even know I could sing.
Until you tried, and then it sounded good, right?
Yeah, after like 1,000 times.
Um, so what is what's your takeaway of the Pittsburgh music scene? Like, how do you feel about? Because you said you used to live in Iowa, Idaho.
Yeah, Iowa. Yeah, Des Moines, Iowa.
So, do you see a difference between Pittsburgh music scene and Iowa's music scene, or yeah?
Yeah, there's definitely a huge difference, but
Okay.
all the like mainstream people like Drake or Chris Brown, like anybody that you can possibly think of that's mainstream, they all listen to the same stuff too. But the local rappers, it's a lot different for sure.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if you're familiar at all with like Detroit style rap
Hmm.
or like the people from Flint, Michigan. But the people in Iowa, they rap more like that for the
Oh,
most part. Whereas like Pittsburgh people, uh, it's hard because Pittsburgh's so diverse. There's people that make music like me, and then there was people that were like Jimmy Wapo or Son of Two Fly or Hardo. Like that's a whole different type of rap.
right.
You know what I mean? So um, yeah, they're very very different for sure. But I would say that the Iowa people, they're more like, I don't know, that Midwest, like Detroit type style, and Pittsburgh's more like New York, East Coast. That
Okay.
makes sense.
And how do you feel about? Do you think it was easier to get booked out there as opposed to getting booked here, or not really notice a difference? Or
No, I think that like going to the studio out there was really really cool because they got like some LA style
Mhm.
stuff. Like a lot of it's like California inspired. So they definitely had some really cool studios out there, but getting shows, they didn't have too many shows. That was that was really like almost impossible unless you were just going to like a live music event
Oh,
and grabbing a mic.
oh,
But in Pittsburgh, yeah, I would say it's way easier to find a show in Pittsburgh. 100%.
okay.
Way more venues. And really, there's a lot more people in Pennsylvania than Iowa. There's like 4 times the amount of people in PA than there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, yeah, that would give more wiggle room, I guess, in PA.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more people for sure.
So, what else would you like to tell us?
Uh, um, really just, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of new music coming. I'm just excited for these shows that are about to come up. I'm working hard for you guys, just like every other American is. I know that, like I told you earlier, I come from a really hardworking family, and, shout out to my whole family. I love you guys. Um, but I know that a lot of other people come from that same background, and I'm excited because I want to be able to spread a message that, somebody that didn't have much or came from like a lower income place, like you could really make it out. You could do some big things as long as you put your mind to it. And I told you a little bit earlier, I got a little taste of success, and now it opened my mind up to like what is really possible. Like, you think that $200,000 a year is that's great, but that's not. There's so much more out there for you. There's bigger opportunities. And you can reach it. You could do whatever you want. So that's really all I want to say is just, everybody stay tuned, because I'm just going to keep dropping heat about motivation, about getting a bag, about being a good dude, but also don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like basically what everybody else is thinking in their head. So I'm excited for that, for
Good.
sure.
Yeah, I'm excited too. When we talked about it a little bit, but at some point this week, I'm gonna message you about some open mics,
Oh yeah.
um, and figure out when we could
Yeah.
meet up at an open mic. So, um, so I can see you perform and meet you, and then get some shows going.
Yeah, that'll be super exciting. Do
Yeah.
you do you have any idea what areas the open mics will be in? Is it just like Pittsburgh or
Well, I know the one I like a lot is at the Forge in Homestead.
okay.
Um, that one's on Wednesday, first and third Wednesdays of the month. Though I have
Okay.
to find out if they're actually doing it this Wednesday, since the next day is 4th of July. I
Right.
don't know if that'll have an effect or not, but the place is really cool, has a great stage, and all kinds of people go there. There's a jam band that's there, and um, just all kinds of genres go,
Yeah.
and they don't care. They have everybody.
I've never been
Um,
there, but that sounds super exciting for
yeah,
sure.
they have a
Sounds
great
lit.
stage. Yeah, they have a great stage. It's a really cool place. So that's my favorite one. But then there are a few others around that are also really good. Um, so we'll get all that worked out.
Heck yeah. I'll be waiting for the call.
And
Very ready.
good. Um, and I can't think of anything else. Is there anything you would like to add?
Just, in the comments, I see these people.
Yeah, run it up. Just came in.
That's my dog Trey. He's in my wedding. That's my brother. I love you, brother. Wayne, I love you, brother. That's one of my business partners. It's Frank Rich. Man, I love you, dog. I don't even. I'm trying to remember if we met in person, or if I know I got you on Snapchat. I know the name for sure, bro. So I just 100%. I appreciate you guys just watching the live too, and yeah, there'll be way more of this. It's like I told you. I'm just trying to get a little bit better, 1% better every day, and it's getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and putting yourself out there and just seeing what happens. So
Yeah. Now, when this is over, it'll automatically get posted on Instagram. And then, like I had said to Cartoons, I had his interview today, yours, and then I have another one on Wednesday. So either by Wednesday night or Thursday, I'm gonna put so you guys will have access to the videos, but
Okay.
then the audio goes on Spotify.
Yep.
Um, the podcast is on Spotify, so I'll send you the link to that. And then I put this video interview on YouTube. I'll send you the link to that. And then I put the audio up on the radio station as well, and it rotates through general rotation. So this won't be the last time someone gets to hear this interview.
All right. Well, yeah, and I just want to say thank you, Robin, for what you're doing. I looked at the page. I looked at you, interviewing some people, and I know some of them too. And I'm just, I really appreciate you just doing this and helping people get out there and
Oh,
having a
yes.
radio station that you're trying to build too. It's like a community, and we're all in this together.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited. I think I'm up to, I want to say 36 hours of independent music. And it's so exciting because every single piece of music, podcast, or poetry that's on there has been sent to me from the actual artist. So
Wow.
yeah, it's great, and I just want to keep growing it. My goal is to hit 48 hours, um, and I realized the other day that I've only had this radio station for like a month and a week and a half or something. I only started this radio station May 16th.
Oh
And I thought
yeah.
about
We're
that, and I'm like,
coming, dude.
wow.
I'm telling you.
I'm
About to
like,
pump this up.
I'm like, that's a lot of music and podcasts and poetry in like a month. So it was very exciting. So
Absolutely. No, that's huge. I'm happy for you. For real. That's a huge accomplishment in a month and a half. Not even.
yeah. So I'll just keep growing it. And I'm sticking to independent artists. It doesn't matter what the genre is. If, if you're an independent artist, send it on over. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm looking very forward to meeting you.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to meet you for real. I know I keep saying super excited, but I'm super excited. About to blow this up, I'm telling you.
Good, good. All right. Well, I don't you see you told us how to find you. You told us where you are. Um,
Yeah,
you
really, if you just search Young Ev on Google, I'm popping up at this point. It'll say I'm a musical artist. But really, I know a lot of people have Apple Music and Spotify, so if you search Young Ev, that's, you know, probably two of the biggest platforms right now.
okay? Yeah. Um, so thank you everyone for coming in and making comments and everything. That's great. And
Appreciate you guys.
and when we're done with the interview, I'll tag you in it so you can also share it to your friends or whatever you would like to do.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much, Robin. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. This was great. So
Absolutely. All right, well, have a good one.
you too. Bye
All
bye.
right.